Okay, recording just started, so I would like to welcome you on behalf of the EDIH ADRIA team. Today we will present one of our success stories that is dealing of the implementation of the AI technologies in a small retailer, auto car dealer and retailer and the service, and we will show how this technology was applied to that particular case. There will be a Q&A session on the end for the questions, but if there are any questions that arise during, you can put also the questions in the chat site there, and my colleague Emira will take care of that, and then we can summarize everything on the end. Okay, then let's start. Just maybe a few words in the beginning about the agenda. So we will go to that. We'll see a little bit what is happening currently in the entire automotive retail market. What are some issues or challenges what they currently have, and so forth. And then we will concentrate on this success story of Adria P.A, which is automotive dealer here in Croatia, and we will go through the entire process of customer needs acquisition, some solutions, testing, and on the end we will see a little bit of the lessons learned and some key takeaways. Obviously, on the end there will be this Q&A session. So my name is Damir Medved. I'm Director of European Digital Innovation Hub, Adria. And we are currently basically responsible for there are 4 EDIHs in Croatia. We are responsible for the Adriatic coast, and this is the area where we are providing services. Somehow we were created, or our initiative or core business activities are coming from smart city technologies, and that was basically part of our initial proposal, what we are offering. So we are concentrating in the domain of basically the area of the traffic optimizations, application of the AI technologies in this traffic domain, but also in domains of the energy, healthcare, and so forth. So here we will be concentrated, or we will talk about the kind of mobility, automotive aspects of our assistance to the small and medium enterprises. In short, what is as a kind of beginning, basically what we can see, this automotive retail market is one of the biggest, I would say, in the world. There is a lot of the activities there is a lot of revenues, and there is a lot of dynamics present, which is in the sense that new models of the cars, which are from day to day more complicated, is introduced to the market, and that's really creating quite a lot of the burden for the retailers, and also bringing a lot of the challenges for the customers on the other side. In that sense, as you can see that the making a decision about how to purchase a car, and it's becoming much more complicated, because in cars, if you compare the car maybe 20-30 years ago, today's cars are much more complicated. There are much more features available, so sometimes defining what kind of capabilities or features are important for the customers, ability to explain all these things, how these features can be used. It's becoming quite important part of the automotive dealers. Currently, based on also our experience and work, basically they are a little bit more explaining about the digital components of the car or digital functionalities of the car than they are explaining let's say the car itself. Maybe 20-30 years ago it was more discussion about the engine and these kind of things and comfort, but today this digital connectivity and all these kind of security capabilities, that's becoming more important for the customers. So in that sense, we can see that there is kind of the shift shift regarding the approach of the retailers towards the customer, and there is a need for quite a lot of these additional tools which are used in this process. So in general, when we can look what means the purchase of a car today, there are a number of the steps present. Usually the customers first is investigating kind of the what is available on the market. Usually they are coming to the showrooms if they are existing. And one of the factors or results are that the customers today are quite very well informed about the car or the features of the car. And this is a kind of creating quite a lot of additional pressure on the car dealer. So they have a lot of information which they collect earlier using the websites or digital tools, even ChatGPT today, and then usually they are coming to the car dealer with quite a lot of the information. Usually they are also interested about the pricing and everything, but the tendency today is maybe just for a few brands, but tendency is that the pricing is not directly available. Maybe some budgetary estimates, but usually the price usually is revealed when you are coming to the shop, and that will have some consequences also in our application of our tools what we have here. So in general, idea of introducing digital tools in the automotive and retailing business is basically help the customer to make this investigation, to streamline the process, to have this process interactive, to provide appropriate information, so when they will come to the car dealer, they will be able to make a decision in kind of shortest possible time. And very important thing is complete transparency of the information to them. There are many additional information regarding, for example, carbon footprint and all these kind of things, which can be supplied, and in many cases customers are really interested in that. So I would say that the main idea here is to use this digital process to supply as much information as possible to potential users. Other thing is what you can see how the artificial intelligence can be used, and I will talk in a few minutes about that. It can be used both in the area of identifying some opportunities in the sense how the advertising will be approached for the particular brand or offering, but also is used later to understand the behavior of the customers, what are their needs, how they can be approached, maybe having kind of early investigation about their preferences and so forth. So I would say that there are many different areas where in the market, in this marketing part, AI can be implemented. But here, in our case, we were mostly concentrated in this communication with the customer once where the customer is already present or it's coming to the retailer. And that was the main part in our particular case. As said, this implementation of the AI components, it can be really implemented into multiple areas, and that can be really different depending of the maturity of the market. I would say also depending of the type of the customers that you are addressing. Are there kind of ordinary citizens, or there is this maybe business market, and also depending on the maturity of I would say of the digital. Let's say about the knowledge, the level of the knowledge about how to use digital technology in a particular country or in particular area. So, as said, a lot of these technologies are already available. That's quite interesting thing. It's not this AI application. It's not just for a kind of big companies or big retailers, but in our particular case, we implemented or tested the solution inside a relatively small company that is representative in this region of the Croatia. Now let's go into what was actually the subject and what we did here. So our user for test before invest was a company called Adria P.A. They are Dacia and Renault dealer in Rijeka. And the key idea for them was to see how, so they don't have any kind of IT background. They have understanding of new technologies, but they don't have any kind of qualified IT personnel within the organization. They didn't use before this TBI, didn't use any kind of advanced technologies. They have usually website and other things, but were not testing any kind of the chatbots, any kind of advanced technologies. On the other side, there are company that it's quite recognized in this area, in this entire county. I would say they are working for more than 30 years, and they are kind of the reliable Renault and Dacia partner in this region. So first thing, when we started and when they approached us, we did the digital maturity assessment. That's T0. That's the usual test what is performed. As you can see here, their score was around, overall score was around 42. What was interesting, there was a quite good understanding from the management regarding the need for the digital transformation processes. They had quite good, I would say, understanding of this process, informations, but as you can see here, the level of the automation, AI, or any kind of more advanced services was quite low. So for us, the first step was to train them. So European Digital Innovation Hub, Adria, we have a number of the educations regarding how AI can be implemented in the small and medium enterprises and public organizations. So first step was proposed to them to go on specific training so they better understand this digital transformation and how AI can participate there. What was their main need? They, in certain times of the year, they have a quite high volume. It's kind of cyclic activities, high volume of sales and the services. Especially they have, as we are operating in tourist area during the summer season, they have quite a lot of the inquiries from the tourists that are coming in our region, and they can have some problems with the cars. They also have a lot of people that are taking rent a car. In many cases, Renault or Dacia are rent a cars, and then when you have a customer that is using rent a cars, very often they are also calling them for some kind of additional information and so forth. That's one thing. And the second thing is when they have specific activities, commercial activities, there is a lot of the pressure. When they have a special sales campaigns or something, then they have these kind of peaks where there is a lot of additional, there's a lot of pressure, and they see a lot of the pressure on them. Also, they have just regular working hours, and then they notice that maybe during weekends or after hours, it will be important to provide some information to the customers, especially if there are, as I said, if they are tourists or somebody that needs some help after the regular working hours. What was important to understand here is that first was the assessment of the business processes, what they have. I must admit that they have really good, very good documentation about the business processes. It's very well documented. So our team that helped them in test before invest had the first thing was to identify what are these processes and where in this very well defined process we can introduce AI components. So we analyzed during that activity sales and service assistant processes, and to try to identify where are these elements in a process, or where are these parts of the process where AI can be useful. Key information what was provided from them was that they would like that we support that this AI assistant that we can build support stuff during these busy times, and also to provide accurate information to the customers they have. As said in the beginning, they did not have any kind of practical information about AI and these kind of technologies. And the idea was that we can provide a solution in which the training of this AI assistant would be as easy as possible. That they don't have to Adria P.A. team don't spend a lot of the time on the entering some data or making some additional specification. The idea is to use what they currently have in the biggest extent possible, and then also to have some kind of recorded session with them. So the key challenge was, again, to first of all to inform them about these new technologies, so they can rethink how they currently operate their business, and what is their thinking, or how they recognize when the AI can help them in these interactions. Also, the requirement was that the systems should be scalable. They would like to start with something narrow, with some simpler processes, but they would like in the future to expand, interconnect with some existing systems they have, and they would like them to expand solution to more complex domains. Okay, so what was our approach? Basically, our project team that is usually it's combined EDIH ADRIA. We have an industry partner. This is Infobip and Ericsson Nikola Tesla, the biggest Croatian technological companies. We have people from the University of Rijeka, University of Pula, and then we also have these business development organizations. So from this mix of the staff, I would say we are based on the customer requirements, and then we create a team, and this team is then
EDIH Academy Train the Trainer course.
And then this team is basically providing service. So we decided that for this particular purpose, we can use a solution that will be based on two possible platforms. One is Infobip platform, that's our project partner, part of the EDIH ADRIA, which is a very advanced platform. And other solution was to propose the pilot that will be built on the open source solution like OpenAI or something similar. The idea was to propose two different variants to customer, and then they can choose what is more appropriate for them. So in this particular case, we offer this Infobip platform. It's a very, very advanced platform with very, I would say, very complex capabilities, but there was kind of the costs. So if this platform will be used in the future, probably the cost of using this platform, although very, very advanced, will be kind of prohibiting for them. They are a small enterprise, and then they decided that maybe the second option, which is build a customized open source based platform used with kind of open source solution based from OpenAI, will in the longer term will have a lower operational cost for them, and they believe that was better. It was better suited for them. So decision was after these two demos. So we created small demo for them in both platforms. They decided the final TBI, test before invest, will be done with this OpenAI or open platform, and that this platform was created by the people from the University of Rijeka, so development team from the University of Rijeka. The key idea here was that the OpenAI, let's say, based platform, it's a scalable, it's a properly scalable for them. The conversational agent that is created, or the entire approach will be it's good enough for them, for their purposes, to be built with such technologies, and that's the way how then we continued forward. So the key element of this solution was to use the retrieval augmented generation RAG methodology. The reason for that was because they have very well documented processes, and also they have very well documented user and car manuals. So the idea was to create an assistant that will be based on the lot of the existing material what they already had, and therefore we prepared this documentation. We prepared these manuals for cars they are selling. We loaded this into the platform, and then our assistant was able to provide quite a lot of the questions that are related to the car functionality or car capabilities. And one very important thing was that we would like to build a narrow assistant, so the assistant that will be able to respond on really a limited number of the questions to avoid any kind of hallucination, or that we can avoid any kind of unprecise answer. So the idea was that whatever information is provided, it should be based on reliable information coming from the information that was provided by Adria manuals and operational procedures. So how that was done? So they prepared for us kind of textual documentation, vehicle brochures, some information from the websites and so forth. Also, what we did a long, it was more than 8 hours of different interviews with the sales and service personnel. In these interviews, we challenged them with a number of typical situations, and we made the transcripts of that data. And this data was also used for the training purposes. In that sense, we customized the assistant to have responses in quite of the natural way, so in a way that will be quite similar to what typical, I would say, the customer service agent or personnel in the service would respond. Then we used a procedure to transcript this. Then we are converting all this text into vector. We created different embeddings. This is a typical procedure for how you create or use the RAG technology. And we used large language models from Chat OpenAI with some customizations from the Croatian language to create kind of as possible coherent answers. There were a number of we didn't transfer all the manuals, everything what they had. This is just, as I said, it's not a final solution. It was technology demonstrators. So we choose just a few manuals, and we used the PDFs, but there was some cleaning of the documents, and there was basically they were customized in a way so they can be used for the assistant. And also we provided some solutions that this agent or assistant was also able to connect with some operational systems they currently have. So it was able to provide some additional information regarding some scheduling and things like that. The final solution was basically multilingual. It was kind of the assistant which is able to which you can communicate both by voice and by text. So in that sense, also we connected the assistant to the phone system. And that created some challenges, which I will explain a little bit later. But I would say, and based on the testings performed, based on the testings of the personnel of the Adria retailer, but also with people that were using in trial period platform, the answers were quite coherent, and they said that basically these tests completely fulfilled their expectations, or even I would say exceed the expectations, and they believe that the solution is quite good. Obviously, there are different areas of improvement, but the variant that was presented was quite good from their point of view. Well, the results of all these activities, what we did, I would say. That was quite long to the beginning, a lot of discussion with employees of the Adria Renault. It was very useful, so they finished some trainings. So it was very clear when we start this process what we'd like to achieve, what are the differences, what is the importance of the data that they are preparing. For the functionality or the quality of the responses of the assistant. So I would say that we have a really good experience. with them. Also, I would say also them with us. And that one of the key factors which brought, I would say, which helped this success was very, very good operational procedures. So the Adria is a part of a Renault and Dacia group. So one of the things is that they have very, very precise procedures, both for the sales part, but also for the service part, how the Renault dealer should approach the customer, how they can, the entire process from the moment when you are entering into this dealership, both for making car repair or for buying the car, it's very, very clear how that should be done. And that's extremely helpful because that was materials we can use directly, basically, for a training of our assistant. And then it was really combined or enhanced by these interviews which we did. I would say that this first the trials what we did was that really this assistant can be helpful. It can provide really good information after the working hours and so forth. However, we found out that the communication over telephone lines was not so good. Probably there was some the quality of the lines maybe is not good. So for the final implementation, Adria P.A decided that the assistant will be, for the moment, it will be used over from their web pages, or it can be used over the Viber or the WhatsApp. So for the moment, the version of AI assistant that is connected over phone lines, it seems that it's not appropriately reliable. So in general, during the trial period, we can say that they completely fulfilled the requirements. What the customers quite needed, their customers during these trials, what they liked basically is this. They said that the information that was provided was quite reliable. That was recognized. So, for example, if they had any kind of questions regarding some functionality of the car, as this information was coming from the official kind of guidebooks or procedure, was always quite precise for that particular model. This also kind of basic integration, what was done regarding their existing CRM system, that was also quite helpful regarding, for example, if they had inquiry regarding is their car, repair of the car finished or not, ability of assistant to provide this information was really appreciated. Obviously, we identified as, again, this was for the moment it is technology demonstrator. The final system is not fully in the production, but one of the key lessons here, I would say, learned was that this integration with existing CRM system or existing platforms is basically fundamental for them. Also, the data that is collected or data they can, what is important, all these communications or all these inquiries from the end users are recorded. Basically, there are transcripts present, so this can be used for the Adria team to identify any kind of shortcomings or any kind of the problems, and in that sense, they can move forward. Basically, here there are a number of, so currently, I would say the quality of the answers, here is the example, it's just in Croatian, but here there are kind of different financial questions from the people that are over the chat, but you can get a general, I would say, information about the financial leasings, I don't know, any kind of financials. But again, what Adria preferred is that every kind of the final offer or any kind of the final proposal that should be done inside the Adria premises. I think it's a valid decision or valid proposal. We believe, or also that's kind of lessons learned, we should provide appropriate information, but kind of the final closure or final financial offer that should, for the moment, that should come from let's say human salesperson, because that's giving you a little bit more, I would say, kind of conversation capabilities with end users, maybe some specific offer and so forth. But we would say that was also completely understandable. Nobody was from the users, nobody expected that they will get that kind of final offer from the assistant. They understand this is assistant, it's AI assistant, it's not, it's helping you in this process, providing all the information, but for the final offer, you should be, you should come to the Adria to do it. Basically, this capability to have a kind of a real-time monitoring, it's very important for them. Also, it's interesting that they understand that they will need a little bit more training of kind of analytical tools if they would like to have a full, to exploit full the capabilities of what the data that can be collected and provided. So that's interesting for us. Also, that means that this is a small and medium enterprise. They are a car dealer, but we managed to kind of spark some additional interest from them for using new technologies, and also from the owner also to that invest maybe in the future some additional tools, some additional training, so that the people in the Adria that are dealing with all these things can have a kind of better response or better understanding of how they can improve their business. Now, what is important to understand also here, and that's very important thing. So basically, based on the results of this test before invest, Adria P.A. decided they will go forward to the full implementation of a production level AI assistant. For that things, we are helping them, and we created also kind of financial assessment and the digital action plan, how that will be done. And currently, so they will invest some of their own funding for that, but also they are now waiting for, there will be the government of Croatia and some of the, so there is basically in the next 1 or 2 months, there will be availability of funding coming from the Croatian government that will target especially small and medium enterprises, and they will offer some subsidies or co-financing for the implementation of the AI technology. So Adria P.A. decided they will prepare all documentation, and when this offer from the government starts, probably it will be in December or in January, they will apply for this funding. I think it's quite reasonable approach. They will, the level of the co-financing is not clear. It can be quite high from it can be from 60 to 80%. So they will get from 60 to 80% of subsidy for this AI implementation, and that will be very helpful for them. Based on this financial assessment and the planning, what we did, basically we think that they will have quite strong return of investment in very short period of time. All this investment in AI will be returned. But I think which is even more important, probably they will go for a much higher level of integration with their existing IT systems they have, with this service platform, with the CRM system what they have, and so forth. So if they will get, now they will be probably able to have a much stronger AI implementation, have much stronger assistant that maybe they were initially thinking. Well, they now are quite confident that these workloads, what they have, that assistant will help them in this workload they currently have in these specific areas, and also this general communication with customers, they will be able to provide with this technology. So there, I would say, fundamental result is they are now quite confident that AI assistants built in a way as we demonstrated to them are way to go. And well, now the only question is what will be the final requirements for them. Well, so what is when this AI-driven assistant will be implemented based on what we defined here, and quite a lot of the KPIs are identified. So what is interesting, Adria, they also have kind of reporting obligations towards the Renault and towards the Dacia. So they are thinking also that KPIs that will be collected or improved using the AI assistant will also help them to fulfill some of these KPIs, what they have to fulfill to the principal company. In this case, this is Renault and Dacia. Again, measurable outcomes will be for sure reduction in the customer response times. Again, this new assistant is working 24/7. So in that sense, that will be for sure appreciated for the customer, especially during summer season when they figure out there is a lot of requests for some assistance off regular working hours of them. Obviously, they believe currently they track customer satisfaction, but from the initial responses during this testing, we see that there is definitely the customers are satisfied with the responses. They get accurate information. That's something what customer appreciate. So in that sense, I believe there will be also increase in that area. They also believe there will be reduced operational cost in the future when the assistant will be better integrated or tightly integrated with their existing platforms. Then they will have ability to use, for example, assistant to reschedule some services or maybe some reservations what they already have. They will be able to have proactive communication with the customers. So in that sense, they believe that there should be some increase on the efficiency, which then indirectly they will have reduced cost. And second thing is they will be for sure customer service will be much more efficient with the existing people. Now, what is important? There was not idea of owners of the Adria that they are reducing labor. So they are basically currently struggling. They cannot find the people that would like to work with them. So that's one of the problems. So they are looking as the AI on these kind of technologies to help them basically to fulfill these missing people and so forth. Again, they have extremely good tracking of the customer satisfaction within the services and within the sales. So in that sense, all these communication can help them, and it can be improved. Final thoughts here. Now, just from the technical point of view, basically there is. Most of the time was spent in this test before invest was spent on customizing or tailoring data for AI. The manuals, what they have currently, they are basically meant or prepared for the humans. So they are prepared for you as a user to open the manual and then to find information. So we found out that in many cases it cannot be directly used by assistant. So we need some of the conversion of that manuals into the way that was we create a different structured approach. We extract some text data, we extract some imagery, make some connections, but that's a process that can be then used later, and that enabled us then when we have a query, that information can be really provided. So there is no, it's not that you just, load a bunch of the PDF user manuals and then you will have very good responses. That's not the case. That's a very good start. It's an excellent starting point. But anyway, some modification is obviously needed. What is fundamental also beside this the written procedure, were these very detailed interviews with employees. All these interviews were recorded, then transcribed, and then all these interviews were used for training purposes of the AI. We spent a lot of time. I must really commend the people from the Adria. They're really happy to participate. They're really very focused, very concentrated, and I would say the 99% of the material we recorded was directly useful, and that helped us to understand what is the approach, what is the typical approach. We created a lot of these typical types of the dialogues, different types of the users. So we created kind of scenarios where you have a user that knows everything what he would like to purchase, then to the user which is does not have any idea what he would like. Then different type of the users with low budget, with high budget. We also made some kind of gender specific type of the users. So with these conversations, they really helped us to understand what is a typical thing, what all these different types of users expect, and what is a typical communication, how this communication is going on. Also, what is really was important to manage expectations, both from the let's say Adria people or Adria employees, but even more important from the users. We always, in all this communication, it was immediately clear that let's say the users from outside are communicating. If they are accessing, they are communicating with AI system, AI platform, AI system. And in that sense, but I think now after 2 or more years of ChatGPT, that was absolutely not a problem. Everybody understand. And the answers, what we prepared or what the system prepared was very precise, very clear, and that was really appreciated. But on the end, we can say in every moment of this communication, the capability to go out and have a communication with the real person was fundamental, and again also quite appreciated. So this approach of training, and it also seems that we were able, at least during this trial period, we were able to answer quite a lot of the questions. The system was able to answer quite a lot of the questions what we had. What is interesting also, there were some kind of difficulties here. So the completely flawless communication was established if you have communication with text communication with the chatbot, both via web page or via Viber or via WhatsApp or whatever. If you have some audio communication with the voice, then if this communication is in Croatian language, then in some cases there were some a little bit difficulties. So that was especially present when you have a bad communication, like via these telephone lines, something like that. And that's something what we see in the next, I would say, next years. These local specific languages, smaller languages like Croatian, probably they will see huge improvements. On the other side, let's say inquiries that were in English or Italian or any kind of these bigger languages, that was quite, I would say, flawless without any big problem. You know? Last few slides, very important thing. For maximum usability or maximum impact, it will be important to connect the AI's chatbot or AI assistant, not just with this data that is learned, but also with the real systems. If it's connected to the real system, which is another side, creating some maybe security and other challenges. But I would say from that point of view, the quality of information or interaction is on the next level, and it can be really much more useful. And the last thing is this continuous employee training. And that's again something that was quite recognized from the Adria. So they are really from the next period, the next years, they will for sure send their people more often to kind of the trainings, which will enable them to better use these kind of AI technologies. The last thing here is what this case showed or demonstrated that AI technologies are available also for small and medium enterprises, for I would say kind of small company or small organization. Here, with appropriate approach, the implementation should not be too complicated, that we can really help them, and I think they can really help them to improve the operational experience, customer experience, and I would say it's a really good model to boost up portions of their business and make them a little bit more competitive. Well, with this I would like to close. I would also ask you, now we can start with this Q&A session, which is, I think we have an additional 13 minutes for that to answer to all the questions. And also I would like to ask you to fulfill on the web pages how we are satisfied with this presentation, and if you have any kind of the comments for improvements, please then put any kind of the comments there. Okay, I will now close this sharing. All the materials are available on the website. Basically, so if any kind of the questions additionally you will need, I think there is quite a lot of data in these materials. Okay, I'm now opening the stage for the questions. Any kind of questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. Amira, did we have any kind of the question in the chat area?
No, not for now. No, not in the chat. Also, you can post your questions in the chat and you can ask them via the microphone. It's really okay anyway. Okay, we have one question from Simon. What were the top 1 or 2 success factors?
So I would say fundamental success factor was a good or excellent interaction with customers, with Adria. Absolutely, that was essential. They were really friendly. They kind of give to us a lot of their time. As said, 99% of our workshops with them and materials we recorded was absolutely useful for that. It was essential to have the training for them before the starting of this TBI process. That means that when we start to explain how the AI assistant is working, they really understand what are the problems and how they can adapt a little bit the materials they have and this thing. And the second thing I would say was the use of technology, so that RAG approach, that we minimize the burden on them, that we use the existing materials, what they had, so these manuals, operational procedures, and so forth, so that we can, the project team from the university was able to, adapt this material, and then that we choose the type of the platform that was, I would say, with the minimum effort, we could get the maximum impact. So I would say these 2 things: education for them, their commitment, maximum commitment to test these things, and then that we choose the appropriate technologies. I think these are 2 key success factors. So now we are basically waiting together with them with this funding that will be available from the Croatian government for small and medium enterprises to implement AI, so that can make a full production system.
And another follow-up question from Simon. What did your customer most value about the collaboration with your EDIH?
I would say that they first of all they are I would say they appreciated their ability to step into completely different domain, like the implementation of AI technology in their dealership, because they didn't have any kind of clue before that. So they said that this idea of that they can understand these new technologies, that they can really resolve the question if this technology is for them, that they remove any kind of, I would say, misunderstanding of the technologies, or to resolve the question, is this technology appropriate for me, was really helpful for them. And they really appreciate the trainings that are provided by European Digital Innovation Hub Adria. So these trainings which we have from week to week, that is something what we have there, and that this ability to have direct interaction with the experts, or a specific, in our case, these experts from the university for implementation of the assistance. And I would say that now they are quite more confident about what kind of improvements in their IT systems they will do in next years. Now they see this is not a magic, it's not unreachable, and I'm really happy to support them in next years in improvement on their systems.
And if I can just add a question, I've been involved, but I would just like, oh, we have another question.
Okay.
Thank you. So what initiated this opportunity? How much time elapsed between the initial contact and the start of the implementation phase?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Actually, it took quite a lot of time. Basically, we started with them. It was almost 1 year of the process. We started discussion with them. Then usually there was a problem. They have some. So the key point is we tell them, you must be ready for us. You must have time to dedicate. So in that sense, we spent a lot of time. We sent first of them to some educations so that they can learn something about that. Then there was a summer season and all these kind of things. But I would say it was around 9 months. The whole process from the first contact to the moment where we finished this TBI, and when they were quite confident that they can succeed. So it's a long process. We see that same with all the others. That's one of the challenges, I would say, also with this DMA process what we have. So that idea that you will have DMA and that immediately after that you can start TBA, and then in a 5 or 6 months you will finish, it's quite unrealistic. In many cases we are spending almost a year from the first contact through all these processes, TBA, approvals, finding time, and so forth. So I would say it's quite a lengthy process, but we are running them in a parallel. That's no other way to do it. Initiation was we had multiple promotions on this, so they recognized this as opportunity, and then contacted us, and then we were moving forward.
Any other questions or comments?
Well, if not, then thank you very much for participating in this success story session. As said, it will be recorded. It will be uploaded then to the EDIH site, and then you will be able to maybe contact later. If there are any kind of additional questions you have, you can contact us directly. Later, you can make some questions there, or anyway, we are free and really happy to share our experiences forward. That's it. Thank you again. Take care, and probably see you soon on some other presentation of our success stories.
In December, next one is in December. You'll be notified.
Yeah, in December there is another nice story about these a company, IoT, it's IoT related regarding a small SME that is dealing with the solar power and some management system for the solar technology and so forth. Also very interesting story. Okay, thank you again. Well, have a nice day.